for any of our panelists and thank them for coming and being on this platform and forum. Are there...
Can we ask someone to switch on the air conditioning?
Now it's getting warm.
Yes. Can we have the air conditioning on?
Hi. This is for Mr. Sobhan. I've heard a lot about your collection. I would kill to see your videos. But as a collector of the Bangladeshi greats, what is your opinion on contemporary and cutting-edge young Bangladeshi art? And are you interested? Do you collect? And if so, what informs your choices?
Absolutely. I think one of the great thrills that any collector enjoys, and I'm looking at my friend Ananth, who has one of the great collections. We have several collectors, and is, within quotes, discovering a young artist and helping him and promoting him. And I mean, I for one am absolutely thrilled by what I've seen in the exhibition. I mean, many of these artists, I'm seeing their work for the first time, and I'm speaking quite frankly and candidly, I'd be more than happy to own their work. So yes, whilst one has a passion for Munir and Kalidas and Kibia, I've got an equal passion for buying and promoting young artists. There's a young artist in particular, and I helped to organize and curate two exhibitions. One in Delhi. We had this society of promoting Bangladeshi art, and we did this through the society. We brought out a book on the contemporary paintings of Bangladesh. And one of these artists is Ashraf. And if you've seen some of his early work, I frankly can't care too much for some of his more recent work. I mean, he had such an impact when we took his work to Karachi. This was an exhibition of 7 artists. I had 5 gallery owners saying they wanted to do a solo of this work. Well, I thought that was in itself an amazing kind of qualification and justification.
Amide, actually, what Nadia and Rashid had really brought this ceremony on. I was hoping that this seminar, to say the art market connoisseurs. Now, we all know that we have the commodities in Bangladesh today, and we want the buying houses and the individual buyers. And I would really appreciate if you, from the Sotheby's, if you can say, how you how you plan to do that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because I think that's one of the compelling reasons that we've actually come here.
That's right.
We what I mentioned earlier was, we did a similar type of trip to Pakistan, and, not to bring too much of the money, when we first put him into an auction, it was maybe in the $10,000 range, and he's now the highest selling artist from Pakistan ever. And we've seen his prices go up to over $500,000.
Correction, not we put, not you and I, but flippers.
Sorry. Okay. We meaning we Christies, not we Rashid and mine. But I would say too that what we would like to accomplish by being here and being in this forum is to see as much as possible, and again to try to create this cross-fertilization. What you're interested in is bringing Bangladeshi art into the international fold, into the international marketplace. And I think the market, which is, the auctions are a barometer of, is a good place to start in a way. Whether it's getting French, Italian, European, American collectors looking into this region, but also within the region, as we see with Pakistani collectors collecting Bangladeshi art, Indian collectors collecting Pakistani art, and at some point, I think and hope, as I'm sure that Fabio, Deepak, Rashid all believe, that it will all be borderless. I mean, it will all be at one point in time that we'll just look at this without the boundaries and just as artists and art.
No, I also wanted to think that there are some difficulties. For instance, we hold this Asian Art Biennale exhibition every 2 years, but we can't buy the paintings from outside. There is a restriction that all the paintings that come here, there has to go back. Similarly, when we send exhibitions abroad through the government or privately, there is a restriction that we can't sell it abroad. So I have some ideas over the years. I thought of what can be done. There are very few books are published in Europe of Asian artists, particularly in Bangladesh and others. Only about a month back, Skira from Italy have started publishing some books on Bangladeshi artists. So I don't know if you could help in this way to get some publications so that people in Europe and America get to know the Bangladeshi artists. Also, our Honorable Excellency suggested that people should go and find their own market. And we have been doing that. In fact, our Shahabuddin in Paris, Monier in Spain, Ghiyasuddin in Japan, they have been doing, and they have created their own market. But market in general, for the Bangladeshi young talented artists that you have seen, I would really request you to think that how else, not only through the buying houses like or auction houses like this, but maybe I don't know, maybe the high commissioners or ambassadors who are living in Bangladesh can collect some CDs of Bangladeshi artists and send them to their countries and say that here are beautiful artists, why don't you buy them? Or maybe you can also do this on our behalf too.
I think that you bring up very good points. I think that there are certain things that can happen within this space and region to really catalyze or jumpstart the market here. One of them is what you mentioned, was that there's difficulty in bringing works in and taking works out. Just to give you an example, I think that the Indian art market, for instance, really didn't boom until you started to get the fact that the government actually brought down duties and levies from what was 80% to 15%, really allowed collectors in India to start collecting art internationally. And you asked a question about publications, but that's why someone like Deepak is here. We need more and more curators who have that international background to be coming here and mining the studios and trying to put artists from here into context worldwide. And even Rashid also, who wears another hat as both professor and curator, can also cross-fertilize and through artist-led initiatives like Code or the Triangle Group or Bustle and Brito and other collectives. We are starting to see too that artists are moving outside of their own region. But I think what we need to avoid is that we create some kind of a closed circle or a closed loop where, as what Mr. Sobhan said, in order to create a momentum in the market, people have to be willing to invest and people have to be willing to